That's what we're going to say. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I feel very, very honored to be here tonight. I'd like to thank Susan Corporation and the Leukemia Lymphoma Society for being able to come and tell a little bit about how they have helped support patients and their families. I just have a quick question. I heard this was a global audience, and I just want to know, how many of y'all are actually from Texas? Can I see a hand? Okay. I had to chuckle a little bit because when I asked the event planner what the dress was for tonight, she tried to explain to me what Western wear was, and I said, I'm from Houston, we got this. Western wear is everyday wear for us. I'd like to introduce to you my beautiful daughter. She's one of 5. I'm so happy that all of you are supporting the Leukemia Lymphoma Society. Because of them, I'm here. And this year, I'm a 10-year survivor. Because of what you're doing, more families have hope. Thank you. I'm honored to be tonight among this group of individuals who understand how research and technology impact ordinary families like my own. In terms of pediatric leukemia, in 1960, a parent facing the doctor after a diagnosis was told their child only had a 3% survival rate. At the time that Hannah was diagnosed, we were told that 85%. All I could think about was the 15. Were we going to be a part of that? Today, thankfully, parents, along with that difficult conversation, get to hear that their child has approximately 95% survival rate. And this is all because of this. I used to pray, dear God, please let me see her on her first day of kindergarten. This year, we're getting ready for 8th grade. SpeechLLS, I often say that we joined their family by the least popular way as patients. But we have had such a wonderful experiences with them. We have, in the past 10 years, they have grown and increasingly grown and become this amazing organization that stays true to their mission, which is to cure leukemia. But they've also added, since then, lymphoma, Hodgkin's disease, and myeloma, and improved the quality of life, not just for patients, but for families. SpeechLLS funds life-saving support, life-saving blood cancer research around the world, and provides free information and support services for families like ours. This year alone, they have funded $68 million in research, and since the 1960s, $875 million. I'd like to say that at the time that Hannah was diagnosed, we were a growing family with 5 children. Our youngest was a baby of 9 months. We had just purchased our home, and we're getting ready we had just closed on it. And to be a family at that time, I didn't even know how to spell leukemia, much more what is this about. And we were thrown into this medical crisis. We had no idea. We were numb. We were clueless. And my very first memory is a patient services manager, Cherry Evans. I was still numb in the hospital that first week. And she walked in This is before that letter. And she walked in and said, guess what? We know leukemia. We can help you. That is one of my first memories from that awful time. As for parents, we learned not to take anything for granted when it came to her treatment. The things that were going to keep her comfortable, were going to make her treatment easier and shorter, were very important to us. New Year's Eve of 2006 was her last treatment. And we celebrated that evening with our community, a family, and friends as she took her last oral therapy. And we haven't looked back since. It's been a long road, but it's amazing to know that we still have our family. And so in closing, I just would like to say thank you for all the work that you do. As a parent of a child with leukemia, I take everything deeply personal. Everything that is researched or developed, the innovation, I take it deeply, deeply personal because my family is here today because of the work that was done. And in the years since we have joined LLS and become very active, I like to say that we do a lot of these things because I feel that 30 years ago, a mother stood in front of people asking for money for research, and those people listened and stayed. My daughter is alive because of a mother's efforts 30 years ago. So every time a mom speaks up, another child wins his or her battle with leukemia. Every time a mom speaks up, another family gets to stay together. We get a little closer to finding a cure, and we are able to fulfill a promise. Thank you again.